Welcome back, episode 2 of our video on narcissism and flying monkeys. That is the topic. And we were at the part where we were going to discuss the type of people that can be used as flying monkeys, and those that are fully aware of what they are doing, of what the narcissist is actually wanting them to do, or what the narcissist is up to. Those that are partly aware but they are not quite sure, but they are doubting that something is not quite right with this narcissist. Why are they doing this to this person? They are questioning things but they are not quite sure. And there are those who are totally oblivious of what the narcissist is doing. They believe the narcissist 100%. Some people who participate in the abuse will be completely unaware the narcissist has been lying, playing the victim, and projecting their own worst traits onto the victim. They will believe everything the narcissist tells them about the target, all the lies, without stopping to question why they are doing this. You will be viewed, that is the target will be viewed by the flying monkey as evil as they have heard the narcissist say, and in the name of justice, they will willingly help take the target down, because that's what the narcissist is aiming at. If you can just help me take this person down, then they will be willingly, without any doubt whatsoever, be used to take you down. There will also be those who are fully aware the narcissist is lying, or at least suspect it. However, they won't care, because an alliance with the narcissist offers them one of the following: sexual gain, financial gain, social gain, or revenge on you for some past perceived slight. If maybe this person, the flying monkey, happens to be your secret enemy, then they have now gotten a chance to take revenge on you by doing exactly what they know is wrong. They know that the narcissist is lying. They know that the narcissist is projecting all these evil things, all these ugly things they say about you is exactly them, not you, but they will still do it because they are taking a revenge on you. How to deal with flying monkeys? Number 1, admit they exist. Don't be in denial. Admit they exist. Cut them off. Number 2, accept that you may need to cut some people off, that your very friends, long-term, even family members, relatives, colleagues, acquaintances, leaders you are under may have totally consumed the narcissist Kool-Aid. When evidence suggests that this is the case, anything you say can and will be used against you. Best to cut those people out of your life, at least until things make a little more sense, just to save yourself. You are not being evil. You are just saving yourself, because the narcissist has unleashed an army of flying monkeys against you. When you realize and you have admitted that this type of people exist and they are out to destroy or help destroy you, then cut them off as much as you can. Number 3, gray rock. This is a strategy that can be used with both the narcissists and their flying monkeys. You give one-word answers like yeah, or short answers like I'm doing okay, because they will always come and try to find out what's going on. How are you? What's going on? One-word answers, I'm okay. Don't go into details. I've just been kicked out of my job. Because they take these things and feed back to the narcissist, and then it's just bread and butter to the ears of the narcissist. Your struggles are bread and butter to the narcissist. So you make sure that you don't entertain this type of things. Don't share. This is grey rock is when you are not cutting off completely, or when you are cornered, because sometimes you can cut off, but then they will follow you to a point where you get cornered sometimes, and then you find yourself in that position where you have to grey rock. Don't share anything that is going on in your life. Responses should be completely emotionless. Number 4, control your emotions. The narcissist lies and smear campaigns are designed to throw you off base, to push you into an emotional outburst. Then they can point and tell everyone that you've been the crazy one all this time. Remember, the narcissists out there, they portray you as someone who's problematic, someone who's unbalanced, someone who's lost their minds, someone who's really sick. So there are people who have consumed this and they believe that that's who you are. So if now the flying monkey comes and triggers you or provokes you, and you end up playing into the trap and become emotional, then those onlookers are now going to say, oh yeah, the narcissist has always said this person is like that. Today we have seen it. So save yourself by keeping your cool all the time. Try. It's not easy, but keep your cool all the time, because you don't know who is a flying monkey sometimes and who isn't a flying monkey. You will be tricked into responding, and don't do it. Learn to walk away. Number 5, get the right people in your corner. Narcissists try to play the number game by surrounding themselves with flying monkeys and enablers. Don't go it alone. Don't be alone. There are, with the targets, it's difficult to find trustworthy people, especially when the narcissist is really out to hunt that target and going around everywhere influencing. It's going to be difficult for the target to find reliable people, but there are reliable people. You just need to, look and not lose sight of the best people. Identify true friends, be grateful for them, and let them help you. You will have people coming to you by saying, I see what the narcissist is doing to you. I just want you to know, I don't believe the things they are saying, and I don't agree with the way they are trying to smear your good name. There will be people who will, one day, if they haven't done so as yet, there will be people who will come to you and say, we have seen this going on for many years, and now we have come to believe that it's all lies. You are a great person. Those are the people you must never lose in your life. Be grateful for people like this. They are reminders that you are who you've always been, that the entire world around you hasn't lost its collective mind. They are reminders that the narcissist smear campaign is not indeed reality. If they offer to help you, to talk to the people the narcissist is trying to influence against you, let them do. If they say, I will speak to this flying monkey, I'm the middle person, I'll speak to the flying monkey and try to speak sense into them, because maybe they don't know really that the narcissist is the narcissist. So I will make them aware and see what they say. Let them do it. Aim to locate the following resources before you need them. People who can educate you about the tactics narcissists use. A therapist, a counselor with expertise in narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. A lawyer who has experience with NPD, if you are looking for a lawyer, in cases of where children are involved and marriage is in place. You may find yourself needing a lawyer, but get a lawyer that understands NPD. The next time you watch a movie about a narcissist, and there is so many out there now, look for the flying monkeys. Once you see them in art, they are easier to spot in real life. So you educate yourself. Summary. Flying monkeys are people who actively participate in a narcissist smear campaign. The goal of the campaign is to destroy the target's reputation. Flying monkeys carry out much of the narcissist's dirty work, allowing the narcissist to keep their hands clean. This typical narcissistic technique involves using the victim's friends, acquaintances, family members, strangers, people you know, work colleagues, or church people to spy on the target and spread gossip, all the while portraying the narcissist as the victim and their target as the culprit. To preserve the appearance of control and manipulation over you, the narcissist will utilize third parties. They can have the power to affect where you can go physically. We said that in the case of nightclubs. Or they can have influence over the groups you are in socially. We said that in a case where you own an organization and you have a group of people you are working with in that organization, they can get one of them to cause havoc in there. Or you are on a social media that you have started, a group, maybe you are doing training on social media, you have a group that is your following, they get somebody in there to wreak havoc in there. They can be completely unaware the narcissist is lying about you and purposely smearing you, or they can be partly or fully aware, yet participate anyway because there's some kind of personal gain. To deal with these people, you may have to do some of the following. Be willing to cut people out of your life who believe the narcissist and participate in the abuse. Grey rock. Show no emotion and give the flying monkeys little to work with. Be willing to walk away if you feel yourself getting emotional in the face of abuse by the flying monkey. Just walk away if you can. It's difficult sometimes. It depends on what is going on. I'm not saying you have to be a stone, but if you can, now that you know that the narcissist is using people against you, you are now aware, you have this awareness. So once somebody seems to be provoking you, always doing things that look like they are provocations, you need to just walk away. Surround yourself with the types of people who can help you, and document everything in cases where, especially if there are legal ties in that relationship with the narcissist, for married people who have married the narcissist, document everything so that when it push comes to shove, you have something that you have documented. Be grateful for true friends who see through the narcissist and their flying monkeys. You will get them. It's not difficult. You know, they are very scarce, but you will get them. You may get one or two, and you may get more than two. So we have come to the end of the video. The second video was a bit shorter. And, this is the topic that I just wanted to share with you. We may take these things lightly. And, it's like theory. It never happens. But I can tell you, it's theory, but it does happen. These people do exist. And if you have never been a head-on collision with this type of a person, you won't believe it. I can tell you, I wouldn't have known anything about. I read in the books when I was doing my psychiatry. I read in the books about personality disorders, including NPD, but I never really kind of met a patient that had this personality. Why? Because NPDs, they never seek help. They are not ready to change. They never seek help. So you will never see them in the psychiatrist's office. You never see them in the psychologist's office. You never see them wherever seeking help. They want to continue the way they are. And that's why they say the best thing is to leave. because this person, this type of person, will never seek to change. You are going to be the one to change to feed them, but they will never change. And you are going to be abused all your life by them. So if I have never had the opportunity to get into that kind of a situation, I wouldn't have known this. That's why I say it's taboo if you don't know. But if you have been in it, you know it does exist and it's true. And one professor of, I think he was a psychiatrist professor in psychology or something like that. He was talking about this type of personality, the narcissistic personality, and he was referring to the victims of this narcissistic abuse. And he was saying that most of the women that end up in prison having committed murder are victims of this kind of abuse, because they stayed in those relationships to a point where one day they just couldn't take it any longer. And it's like fate just took over, and the woman just found themselves having done something horrible that they now have to face by going to jail. So it does exist. If you were to ask maybe the judges, they come across it in courts. Prisons are full of these victims. Some of them died. Mental health institutions are full of these victims. Some of them just succumbed to emotional baggages, and they just couldn't function any longer, and they ended up really becoming patients in mental health. So these things do happen. It's important for people to gain knowledge. I was lucky because when I realized that things were not tallying, things didn't look normal in the type of relationship I was in, I started to Google. Luckily I was observant and I could see that something is wrong here. There is a double life, there is fakeness, there is superficiality, and there are lies, and there's a two-timing kind of thing. So I started, and there's abuse, being put down, being belittled, being mocked, being made a spectacle in publicly, and to boost their own self-esteem. I mean, all these things were just not making sense to me. And I said, normal people don't do this. No. So I started now to ask questions, and I went to Google and I Googled the question that I had about my own personal situation. And then as I Googled the questions, answers popped up. And when answers popped up that were trying to answer the question that I asked, then people that are teaching and training in this subject of narcissistic personality disorder started to pop up because of the questions I asked. And I started to pick up, and it was a whole lot of things now coming up. And now I was finding answers to questions that I didn't even ask on Google. And then I now started to dig and dig and dig and dig, and everything that was puzzling to me in my own situation became very clear that no, I always doubted, and I always realized, I always thought that this can be. And now I was getting all these answers, and I realized that I was right. And I started now to read more, educate myself more, to a point where then I came to that conclusion that I can't continue in this type of relationship. It's abusive and I don't deserve it. And then I went no contact up until today. So yes, fly monkeys are everywhere. As you know, smear campaign is all over. But, I've regained my life to a point. And there will be a delay in your progress, obviously, because you are fighting a battle. The narcissist is not giving up. they are getting more and more flying monkeys against you. They are making sure that they are bringing you down. They are making sure that they destroy you completely. So they are not going to rest. And then it's a constant battle. But at least you have come out of that direct contact with them. You are now looking at restoring things that you have lost through this toxic relationship. You are repairing things that got torn apart. You are putting things that were displaced in place in your own life. You are literally rebuilding your life now without being distracted by the abuse. I mean, the abuse is still there. It's indirect now because it comes through the fly monkeys. But it's not as severe as it used to be when you were right there in front of the narcissist. So knowledge is key. I got the ability to realize that I was in a toxic relationship, and and I made my mind up with the help of those people that provided the information that I need to come out of this. It's because somebody else provided the information. So we do this not because we want to expose narcissists. We do this not because we want to expose those people that we had a relationship with and the relationships were toxic. We do this not because we hate those people. We do this not because we don't want to forgive. We have forgiven and we love the people with the love of God, obviously agape love. But we love them enough to want them to realize that their personality is toxic. And if ever they can seek help, there is a small chance of them changing. And we do this to help potential victims and targets because they are out targeting one person after the other, destroying lives. So we are trying to help people, that people shouldn't go through what we went through. That's why we are passionate about this. It's got nothing to do with paying revenge or hating the abuser or exposing the abuser. I mean, exposing the abuser, what will you gain from it? Hating them, what will you gain from it? Unforgiving them, what will you gain from it? You won't gain anything. But we are trying to help those that are still out there that may be going through it and they don't know what it is, or those who are still going to get into the trap of this type of relationships. So before they do that, then they walk and live this life with their eyes open, knowing that there are characters like this that can really destroy you. So people talk about forgiving. You can forgive without getting back to the same thing. When you forgive somebody, it doesn't say you need to get back to them. You forgive. Forgiveness is between you and God. It's only God who knows you have forgiven. People can judge the way they want to judge, but only God knows you have forgiven. And if the person is affecting your life in a very bad and negative way, very toxic, to a point where you are losing yourself, then you don't have to go back. You can forgive and move on, release them and let them move on. They will find people that for some reason maybe they won't be damaged by them. We don't know. But with NPD, everybody gets damaged. Anyway, and you also go and lead your own life. That's fine. There's nothing wrong in that. You have forgiven, you have released. So don't be fooled, those who have left and you are being accused by flying monkeys as having not forgiven. You have forgiven and you know you have forgiven and God knows you have forgiven. So we come now to the end of our video today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And this information may not be directly what you need because you are not in that type of a situation, but you can be a help for somebody. You acquiring this knowledge can you can become a help for for people who are going through those things. So don't say, oh, I don't want this because I'm not in that relationship, or I'll never get into that relationship. You may be lucky and never get into that type of a relationship, but somebody close to you may, and you may be the person now with this knowledge, and you can help this person. And that's the reason why people are out there on YouTube and everywhere trying to help people to realize that, hey, you are in a mess. You need to get yourself out of it. You got in there unknowingly, but now you must acquire the knowledge and get yourself out and save yourself from losing your mind, because you will. If you stay, you will totally lose everything about yourself. So, as I said, this is the end. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for staying tuned. As we know that I have written a book, The Journey of a Thousand Miles, that I wrote about my life story. You know, the reason I started with my own life story was because I knew that I had issues of childhood, and when you experience abuse in childhood, it affects things in your life, obviously. And then people who have experienced abuse in their childhood, they tend to be victims of adult abuse in life. And then unless if they have dealt with that in their lives. And there are two ways to go psychologically. If you have been a victim of childhood abuse, you can become the empath. That is the person that is so loving, so giving people chances after chance, believing in people, doing good, and just wanting life to be good for people. And there are those who would become narcissistic and really be hardened at heart, and they do the abuse to others. Things that were done to them, they do to others. So you can go two ways. And then if you are an empath, then you become a victim of this one that has gone the other way of narcissism. And then so I wrote that book because I came to realize as to why I fell into this trap at that point of my life, and got into this abusive relationship. And then that's the reason I wrote the book about my childhood. And then I'm in the middle of finishing my second book. And then my second book, I haven't given a title as yet, but the second book is about now how to, it's about abuse. It's just about abuse as a whole. And types of abusers, types of abuse, how it happens, and what is done, how to recognize it, and what to do, where to get help, and all that. So that will be my next book, which I believe maybe mid next year, 2023, it will be out. And then I will let you know when the book is out, because we really need to share this. We need to share this so people don't get into the trap without knowledge. Knowledge is power, and it helps. We need to know these things so we can help others, especially young people these days. They need to know that there are social ills out there, and they come in the form of abuse, some of them, and that abuse that is mingled with love, the hot and cold. 1 minute you are loved and it's just fake love, but they make it look like it's real. Then the next minute, the same person that seems to be loving you is the one that is abusing you. You get what is called cognitive dissonance. You don't know. You end up blaming yourself and thinking that you are the one that is bad, because this person 1 minute is loving, 1 minute is abusive. So they make you believe that they abuse you because you are bad or you've done something wrong. So that's the reason why they're doing what they're doing to you, because you are a bad person and you deserve that. And then they can get you to believe that. And then that is now victimizing you to a point where your whole psyche is done. And if you believe you are the wrong the one that is wrong, then the narcissist is finished with you, and recovery is going to take long. So we need people to know. Now we have now really come to the end of this, and I really thank you.